This is Hannibal here from the Hannibal TV on YouTube with a daily wrestling news update for you. Last week, and the link to this is in the description, I did a review of Joe Rogan's interview with John Cena, which wasn't very good overall. In fact, Ric Flair's interview last week with the unknown not unknown, but with the podcaster that, according to Bubba the Love Sponge, paid him 25 to 35 grand. It was better than the John Cena on Rogan one, the one where Flair said Hulk Hogan was on street drugs and then took it back. Why he said it, I don't know. But we're not going to get into that today because this is about Cena. And why I was bringing up Cena on Rogan was because he said he got a lot of heat from fans for apologizing in Chinese to China for making a comment about Taiwan that China didn't like. So now he doesn't even speak in Chinese publicly because he doesn't want any heat. But he said some stuff about Saudi Arabia today that I'll get into. But I first want to point out, according to Grok, these guys are making a lot of money from Saudi Arabia. Like CM Punk supposedly makes between 1.5 to 2.5 million per appearance. That's per match in Saudi Arabia, according to Grok. Cena makes 2 to 3 million per match in Saudi Arabia. So these guys aren't just going there out of the goodness of their hearts. And Cena said in an interview that Punk is his wrestling soulmate. Oh, how sweet. That really makes me want to go and watch them wrestle because they're soulmates. But he said CM Punk apologizing to Saudi Arabia is larger than sports entertainment. It was a great moment in sports entertainment when Phil Brooks went to Saudi Arabia. He said, that shit made me cry. It's awesome. Just awesome. It shows accountability, vulnerability, apology, and forgiveness. Would he have apologized if they didn't pay him 2.5 million? But again, he's supposed to be a gay rights guy, right? So you're not supposed to be a gay rights guy. In Saudi Arabia, for sodomy, which is a homosexual act that I won't go into the details of, you can still be killed by stoning there. You could get 100 lashes. I don't know what the hell flogging is, but it has to do with lashes, and that still happens. You could get up to life in prison as well as fines. And if you're a woman, you could get lashes, death by stoning, or imprisonment. By the way, this is just for being gay. He claims he's a gay rights guy. If you're transgender, you can be imprisoned up to 5 years. I guess Nyla Rose is not going there anytime soon. Who, by the way, is still being paid by AEW and hasn't wrestled there for over a year. You can be put into forced conversion therapy or deported if you're a foreigner. If you are an activist, okay, so this is interesting. He says he's an advocate. So is he going to resend his LBGQ or whatever it's called? Is he going to extend his gay rights activism? Because he could be in prison there for it. Or let's see him wear his transgender rights shirt in Saudi Arabia. I dare you. I dare you to do that, CM Punk. And then, this is in 2025. You could still be beheaded for sodomy. In 2019, 5 men were executed in a mass killing with supposedly confessions under torture for admitting to homosexual acts. This is just bizarre. And let's go into their women's rights. Isn't Punk a women's right activist there? There's a male guardianship system where women need male approval for marriage, divorce, travel, medical decisions, and exiting prisons. There's travel bans on activism. and abuse. There's men can marry multiple wives. Women face unequal battles, and they have forced marriages there. There is no anti-violence against women laws. Sentences up to 45 years for social media posts if you're doing activist stuff. I'm no expert in this stuff. This is what Grok is saying, Elon Musk AI. But where I'm saying CM Punk is a women's rights and an LBGQ activist or whatever it's called, yet he's going to a place where you can be killed there for being gay. Make sense of that. That's where you know what? If you're going to go there and make your millions, that's one thing. But for CM Punk to be called, for John Cena to say, oh, CM Punk is taking accountability and he's by apologizing to Saudi Arabia, I got no respect for either of you guys. I seriously don't. You know what? John Cena, at least on Joe Rogan, he kind of apologized for the China stuff, apologizing in Chinese for something that he said that offended them about Taiwan, who they're in a war with. Just bizarre. I don't like John Cena. I really don't. It absolutely disgusts me. I get why they're getting the money. But I mean, and I get why Saudi Arabia is doing it. They're very smart. Because keep in mind, CM Punk, before he was getting this money, he said a tweet that's now deleted where he said, quote, go suck a blood money covered DICK in Saudi Arabia, you effing dork, when referring to the Miz. Then he referenced it as blood money, the money that's I guess they're getting like 150 million to bring WrestleMania there in 2027. But now he's on the blood money team, so it's okay. But by the way, I don't think this is short-term money. I think these kind of alliances aren't going to help them in the long runs, but TKO doesn't care about the long runs. When business starts turning, they're going to sell WWE to a company like Saudi Arabia. By the way, in this same interview, Cena said he was willing to work up to 200 dates for his final year of wrestling, but WWE only wanted him for 35 dates. What else did he say? He said he went into business for himself by writing AJ Styles' entrance ring introduction when he wrestled AJ Styles in a match where everyone knew he was going to beat AJ Styles. He apologizes for going into a business for himself by writing the promo. Oh yeah, I'm sure he got mega backstage heat there because it mentioned AJ Styles' TNA accomplishments, who TNA is pretty much a farm system for WWE. I mean, I'm sorry, but this is just I'm no judge of what's cool or not, but this interview just was not cool. The coolness factor is missing right now in wrestling. The coolness factor is missing. What's the biggest thing missing in wrestling right now? It's not cool. AEW Dynamite last week only did a 0.09 rating, by the way. And yes, Cena stated he wanted to do 200 dates, but WWE did not want to add any house shows. So that is the main news. Hello, Jeff Hoover. Donnie, Marty's got a drug and alcohol problem, and he hasn't bothered me for over a week now, so there you go. Hope WWE loses their ESPN deal. Well, yeah, the thing with ESPN is supposedly, according to Freddie Prinze Jr. and Meltzer, has said, well, they haven't gone public saying this. Apparently, they're very disappointed in the level of subscriptions that they've got for the ridiculous amount of money they're paying for WWE pay-per-views now. The subscriptions hasn't merited the amount of money that they're paying for the pay-per-views. Keep in mind, people are used to paying whatever it is. I don't know if it's $3. I don't know if it's $10 for Peacock, where you had the whole WWE library. as well as the pay-per-views and other shows. And now you got to pay $30 a month for just the pay-per-views for ESPN. So yeah, that's not a very good deal. China is not at war with Taiwan. Even the US recognizes Taiwan is part of China. Cena made a mistake and referred to it as an independent country. And then I don't know the exact details of it. All I know is he made a comment that he apologized to China in Chinese. My heat with China is that they skin and boil dogs alive before they eat them, because that creates some type of adrenaline in the dog that allegedly makes them taste better. I love my dog. I have huge caring for dogs. So I don't like or approve of countries that torture dogs. Speaking of which, there's a lot of people that say Kevin Von Erich, who's been in AEW since July, has a long history of cat abuse. Ben, I'll forgive Abdullah the Butcher when he pays me the $2.3 million that he owes me. He's a horrible person who will be going to hell. An evil person, a selfish person. And no, why would I forgive somebody who cost me so much in my life that I will go into great detail on in my book, but I'm not going to talk about it today, and cost me the ability to make millions due to the disease that he gave me, which was proven and can't. By the way, who would forgive a guy? Why do people give him the pass? He knew he had a disease, and not only did he continue wrestling and bleeding, but he shared razor blades. Why would I ever forgive a scumbag like that took no accountability for his actions, transferred his monies and properties in between winning in Canada and the US, and didn't pay me a cent even, and he owes me to this day $2.3 million. So no, I do not forgive him. If I could legally get away with it, I would give him one of those punishments that Saudi Arabia gives people in that country. John Cena's apology for apologizing to China comes a few years too late. Well, again, I actually kind of understood his apology. Then he goes and says this, which is ridiculous. Chris says $30 a month is ridiculous to pay for WWE's pay-per-view event. Charlie says WWE or AEW could become a serious rival to WWE. They could, but the thing is, they're not changing their ways. They're doing the same thing that got them from a 0.68 Dynamite rating to a 0.09 Dynamite rating, and it's been as low as 0.06. So if you're not going to change your ways, how are you going to change? It's just not going to happen, sadly. And I hope something does changes. Ben understands. Yes, you know what? The one thing I will say for anyone that says, "Oh, you want to know how much heat I have?" I'm the one that made the announcement that Mr. Electricity Steve Regal had died. I'm the one that looked into that and was the first to report on it. And I hear everyone saying, "Oh, the NWA released the information." No, it was Hannibal. I'm just glad people are reporting on it because he was a great guy. Chris, I'm talking about Kevin Von Erich. If I said Eric Von Erich, you misheard me. I don't think they're chicken to compete with WWE, Chris. I think Tony Khan books for himself, and Meltzer likes AEW. I don't. I don't like the style of wrestling. I don't like the type of wrestlers they hire. There is some good people on their roster, though. There is some great people on their roster. It's just they have too many on their roster to book it properly. There's too much breaks. Like a wrestler will get over, then he won't appear on TV for 6 months and lose all momentum. There's too many indie looking guys. There's too much choreographed looking stuff. It appeals to a very niche market. And Tony's having the time of his life. Tony was on the record last week. He said that last year or this year, 2025, has been his favorite AEW year. So if Tony Khan, the owner of the company, is saying 2025 is his favorite year, you're not going to see a change. I hope there is, and I wish them luck. I mean, Jeff Meltzer admits himself that he talks to Tony Khan regularly. He does like the gymnastic style of wrestling. I know that it seems like Will Ospreay is his favorite type of wrestler. If you like the gymnastic style, the overly choreographed style, you're going to like AEW. I think that style has run its course. It's not new anymore. It's not cool anymore. And for someone like me who likes realism, who likes the Brody style, the Road Warriors style, the Goldberg style, they're just not going to like AEW. It is in a lot of ways like an indie promotion. Brian says Paramount is making a hostile bid for Warner Brothers Discovery in response to the Netflix offer. Trump has expressed concerns over the Netflix proposal for antitrust reasons. So